All right, Walker Nation, it's Dave Solo back with you at Scaricon in Verona, New York, and I have the pleasure of being here with Bill Johnson, who was Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. How are you, sir?
Well, today, thank you very much.
Great to see you. What are your overall impressions of Scaricon thus far?
It's very pleasant here. The staff are really great. Everybody's been really nice. The weather has been inclement. That's unfortunate. And so it has had an effect on attendance. Other than that, check it out.
It's a great time. Now, of course, we love horror. You got the chance to be a horror icon, Leatherface himself, in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. What was that experience like for you?
Absolutely dreadful. It was a horror, literally. We were in Texas, filmed in and around Austin, Texas in 1986, if you remember that from last century. And the temperature was triple digits. So if you haven't experienced that, then do yourself a favor and avoid it.
Right. Can't imagine that to be comfortable with faux human skin on your face.
Right. I had a full suit and a mask, wig, gloves, and so the only place I could really sweat from was my lips and my eyeballs. So, and we were working in those underground scenes. It was about 125 in there. They would, it was in a old abandoned printing press building from the newspaper that was in Austin American Statesman. And essentially it was a giant corrugated iron, steel building, probably 40 feet high and all open. And they trucked in about a zillion tons of dirt, built a giant dike, flattened off the top of it, and that's where the scenes were shot, on top of that. And between takes, they would open up the side doors, and they rented a 40-ton air conditioner on wheels, and they rolled it up through the doors, and they had a giant tube about like this to try to cool everybody down. About that time is when folks started dropping like the proverbial flies, heat exhaustion and pneumonia, which I became one of the victims, and Toby did too. Yeah, I was out for a week. I was taking meds every 2 hours.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, showbiz. You love it or leave it, like it or lump it. There you go, because that's our lot. However, 30 years later, here we are.
Fantastic. I got to say, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, we would love to have you on the podcast sometime. The articulation, your voice is fantastic. And radio and on podcast, it would be fantastic. So I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you.
Now, last question. Zombie apocalypse hits tomorrow. And we're talking slower, kind of Walking Dead-ish kind of zombies. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Arm myself, I think, and something that is low-tech, something you could do. I think bolo, from the Pampas of South America. I want to tie up those zombies. And I think a shotgun for street sweeper. But I want to save that for when they're ganging up on you. I think the samurai sword and a lot of sharpeners.
That sounds like a plan. So I know if it hits, I know who I'm going to find. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, and thank you very much.